What's going on, you guys? In this video, I'm going to be covering both automatic and manual weapon swap for the profile features. Now, I'm going to be explaining both and why I do honestly prefer manual over automatic. Now, I'm going to be demonstrating the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War game pack, but this involves, and no matter what game pack for any of the COD games, you know, Warzone and Modern Warfare, all of them, they all have the same weapon profile features, and they all have either manual or automatic weapon swap. Now, what am I saying? Going down this list, ignore all of this. Just if you want to follow along, just make sure you match all in-game settings. But this video is only going to be talking about the weapon profile feature and the weapon swap. So, for example, you have two weapons, a primary, secondary, right? Primary, secondary. You got whatever gun you want primary, whatever gun you want secondary. In this video, I'm going to be going over having the XM4 as my primary, which is green, which is going to be triangle. And my secondary is going to be the DMR14, which is my secondary, which is red, is going to be circle. Now, the way you go about switching to them and swapping to them, because right, every gun, especially with these weapon profiles, every gun has a specific recoil pattern. And if it's a semi-automatic like the DMR, having it here is automatically going to apply rapid fire for that specific, weapon, for this class, for this weapon profile. All right. Now, with that out the way, weapon profile features, weapon swap right here, automatic. Let me explain automatic since this is on automatic already. Automatic allows you to just press triangle, and it's automatically going to swap weapon profiles on the go just by pressing triangle. Now, that can mess you up in a lot of situations, and I'm going to be explaining, later on in the video in the custom games. I'm going to explain to you how and why I feel like it does mess you up at certain situations. Not all the time, but I would say a good portion of the time. For one example, when you're in Warzone and you apply armor plates, you got to hold and press triangle, right? Pressing that will swap and change the color of the strike pack on the LED on your controller, indicating, making the strike pack think that you're swapping to your secondary weapon or primary weapon. That could screw you over. That's one situation. That's one scenario. There's tons of other situations that could really screw you over. And I know having automatic, a lot of you guys come to me and say, oh, my MAC-10 is shooting real weird. I have rapid fire applied to it. How do I do that? Or let's say you have the DMR and a MAC-10 or whatever. In this situation, I have the XM4 and the DMR. I'm going to show you guys, how to fix that. Let's say I have the XM4, but the strike pack thinks I have the DMR. The light of the control is going to be red, and it's going to be shooting weird. My XM4 will be shooting weird. That's because, either I didn't manually swap by mistake, or it automatically swapped and I wasn't paying attention. So that's another key reason why I prefer manually over automatic. Manual over automatic. So manual, you do it yourself. And you ain't got to worry about accidentally pressing triangle and having it swap on you. And then automatic is cool. You have the convenience of it doing it for you automatically, but you're risking it screwing you over at certain situations. All right. And the rest of the settings in this game pack is just, I left it alone as is. Going to be focusing on the weapon profiles and the automatic and manually swap. So I'm going to be going over manual first and then automatic second. I'll show you guys in game what both looks like. Let's go. Right now, manual first. Like I said, I'm going over manual first. Now, this is the role I'm going in with XM4. Just plain XM4 DMR. Nothing to it. No attachment, no anything. Now, getting into game pack. Hold the left black button, back strike pack, press the right paddle. First LED slot is my Cold War game pack. Now, at this point, I don't need to do anything. Whether you're automatic or manual, it doesn't matter. Once you activate it, the light is going to be green. It's going to start off with your primary weapon automatically. Now, since I'm manual, if I press triangle, see, the light stays green. The strike pack still thinks, or it's waiting because it's on manual. It stays on the first profile, the first weapon, which is the XM4 that I have, until I manually switch to the DMR. So how I manually switch to DMR, I'll hold touchpad, press circle. Light flash red, now it's red, indicating my secondary. And it vibrated twice. Now I have the DMR. Now if I ADS and shoot, it's optimized for the DMR. You see, rapid fire and no recoil. Now, if I switch back, touchpad triangle, light flash green, back to the XM4. No more rapid fire and zero recoil for the XM4. That's how manual works. Now, automatic, let me explain before I actually show you in game. Automatic will automatically swap and switch the profiles for you just to press of triangle. So once you press triangle, the light should flash green, light should flash red. There's going to be red, and it's going to stay red for your secondary. Every time you press triangle, it's going to swap. Like I said, that could screw you up in a lot of situations. But now, let me actually demonstrate automatic for you. Gone ahead and plugged my strike pack into PC and went to manual. I'm still in the game pack. Well, I went back to the game pack. Now I got the XM4 in my hand, light steady green. But when I press triangle, see, it automatically turned red, my secondary. That's automatic. Now let me reload. Press triangle again, like flash green, automatic. Now that's the difference between automatic and manual. Now my preference is manual. You guys already know. Now the reason why I dislike automatic is because, especially for Warzone, no matter what game pack you run in, because weapon profiles are now amongst all these COD game packs, especially for Warzone, and even with the loadout selector and all that. But this is to each his own. If you run, go ahead. I'm not saying not to run. If you want to run automatic, run automatic. I'm explaining my point of view and how I feel about the two. I like manual over automatic. Now automatic and Warzone, you got to hold triangle, press triangle to apply armor kit. So what happens is, see that? Every time, even holding it, is automatically going to switch your profile. That's a nuisance. That could mess you up at times when you're engaging, in a firefight and all that. And you need to heal up real quick, and then it swaps, and you got to swap back. See? For every press of triangle, no matter what you do, it swaps. And me, sometimes I'm so used to, like, let's say you shoot and you reload like this, and then YY they call it, or triangle. Like, you see, for every press you do, it swaps. And there's gonna come a time where you're not noticing, or you forget, and you're using a different weapon. Or let's say I have the DMR like this, right? I have the DMR, but then I press triangle, and I'm not looking at my controller, and it's steady green indicating my primary, but I got the DMR. So this is what happens. See? The strike pack bringing my gun down because it thinks that I have the XM4 in my hand. This is the XM4 recoil. See, and I don't have rep fire anymore. But it's a quick fix. You would just hold triangle for like 2 seconds. But again, in Warzone, that could screw you up a lot. Not so much in multiplayer, but again, multiplayer is a lot more fast paced. You're killing and spawning and killing and spawning. Especially when you spawn in multiplayer, you will always have to reset the automatic. So you always have to hold triangle to reset. Especially if you die like this. If you die like crazy, like let's say you die with your secondary, but your primary, whatever the case is, once you spawn like this automatically in multiplayer with your primary. Let's say you spawn with your primary, but it's like this, and the strike pack is red, thinking that you got your secondary. You have to hold triangle for like 2 seconds, and then you'll be good to go. See, look at recoil, no recoil. Look at amazing. But anyway, yeah, to me that's a nuisance. I mean, it might not be such a big deal for a lot of you guys, but it is for me. And I'm so used to manual. I'm so used to just having it, myself. Boom, touchpad, boom, boom. I mean, I don't. It doesn't bother me. I'm having to do it like that a long way. Pause. But like I said, to each his own. But that's my full explanation of automatic and manual. Just try out both, and whichever one floats your boat, then go ahead. I'm not bashing you, but you asked me, and this is my personal preference. This is how I feel. I explain both automatic and manual. Just again, be careful with automatic. You got to always reset it if you die with your secondary, or if you're not paying attention to your controller, and in game you think you got the right gun in your hand. Let's say you got the XM4, but your strike pack thinks you got the DMR. You're gonna have rapid fire applied. I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, I got the Mac 10, but I got rapid fire applied to it. That's because when you're automatic, look, you got this, right? Or let's say XM4 for example. I got the XM4, but then let's say I hold triangle 2 seconds, and boom, the strike pack thing, I got the DMR. Look what's gonna happen. I'm ADS, I'm gonna shoot. You hear that? You see that? That's because the strike pack thinks that I have the DMR, so it's applying rapid fire. Rapid fire is gonna slow down the recoil of your fully automatic weapon, such as like ARs, SMGs, LMGs, and stuff like that. It's going to slow it down. So always pay attention and make sure that you're on the right gun and on the right weapon profile. Just hold triangle for 2 seconds if you're automatic, and there you go. I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, my Mac 10's messed up, or my XM4's messed up. Whatever gun you are running, and you have a secondary, and you have a profile for that secondary, which is a semi-automatic, but it's applied because the strike pack is thinking that you got that weapon, but you really don't. So like red, no, because it's gonna think you got the DMR. You hear that? No, that's not it. This is it. And you press triangle, just double check, make sure you got the right gun in your secondary, make sure the light is red, and that's it. All right, so that's it. If this video helped you out, drop your boy a like, subscribe if you're new, check out my other content, and I'm out. Peace, and please always double, triple, quadruple check to make sure if you are on automatic that you are using the right weapon profile before engaging and stuff like that, especially if you're multiplayer. If you die with your secondary in your hand, just remember, if you're automatic, hold triangle for 2 seconds to switch back to your primary. All right, peace.